Well, you wouldn't have. Personally, you could be seen as helping the people by willingly giving the supplies. Granted, you wouldn't be able to carry them by yourself. You would have to have the elder and elder's consent, obviously, and the people do move the supplies, and that would diminish the degree to which the people would be aware that you're doing all of this. But that would be a help because we would be getting the supplies. We wouldn't be seen as the enemy, and as you said, if your goal is simply to help the people, you would be doing that as well.
Okay. That's I guess the one risk that we're worried about in all of this is being that our base is outside of town. If we're seen, normally we can't sit still for any period of time, just because we have to be very cautious of possible attacks. We never know when this anything might happen. And I'm not accusing you or your townspeople of attacking us. I'm just saying that insurgents do blend in, and it's very hard to distinguish insurgents from you just standard civilians. And the one thing we're worried about is bringing things from the base. We run a high risk of basically hauling a lot of equipment in towards the town and through the town. And the problem we see with that is we can basically be attacked, and then everything we're bringing to you can be destroyed, possibly. So we wanted to know if there was an easier way of cutting down that distance.
Well, from a strategic point of view, would the insurgents be more likely to attack you or her men? Because if they're less likely to attack her men than they are you, it would be we wouldn't be cutting down the distance, but we would make the journey of the equipment safer.
And in terms of that, we would take it to a certain point and then allow your people to take it, because if we were to be seen, carrying equipment into your town, that alone could very well, set you and your people apart and make you guys basically targets. The other point in that is, if we have you and your townspeople come out to carry the equipment, them being seen moving to the base and basically working with us could be seen as a very, I guess, bad thing, because you'd show up and then we'd be giving you equipment, and I'm sure if that was seen, that wouldn't be liked too much either. So we want to see if there was some way, possibly, where we could make it look as if we weren't directly delivering equipment and medical supplies. I mean, as much as possible, at least. But I mean, where we wouldn't have to go so far, almost like a middle ground, where we'd almost go to a certain point where it wouldn't look we had any particular point in trying to get into the town and bringing something, but at the same time not too far where if your people were to walk out that point, it wouldn't seem out of the ordinary.
Right. I understand what you're saying. And I do control my military and my men, and I don't think security would be a problem.
Okay.
Could you guys agree on at some point along the border of the town, preferably on the other side of where the insurgent activity is going on, for you to drop off and pick up the supplies and then deliver them to our clinic?
That would be possible, but the other problem with that is at a certain point, when we bring our medical equipment in, it's going to be recognizable once we pass it off. So we want to, if optimally, have the clinic closer to the edge of town so it doesn't look as obvious, so your people don't have to go as far into town, closer to the different activity. I thought we already decided
that we can't move the clinic.
Even if you want me, okay, I can't move the clinic near your base. That's a definitely no. At this point, moving the clinic at all would probably take much more effort than it would give benefits, because frankly the insurgent activity could move just as well, and it's much easier to move people than it is to move a whole hospital, because we have a lot of patients right now. It would take us time to, even if a facility already exists, to build it up, to move everybody, and moving patients is obviously at a risk of at their own health.
Right. Okay, and we have more than enough men to help with that, moving patients, should that ever be a problem if you're understaffed. We have, basically, we can have all of our equipment set up in a very safe, very protected area, so
but it would
all we
still
have to
be
move
your
patients.
area, and that would be the problem.
Do you have any more equipment that